Hello and welcome to our latest video,
Good start, Sis.
in which we're going to talk about the secret to going faster. But first, and I just wanted to check with you, Mark, how are you feeling this week?
You all right? Why do you ask?
Oh, last time I talked to you.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
last time I talked to you. Last time we talked live.
Yeah.
You had your man cold, so I wanted you to reassure the viewers that you felt better.
I was on my deathbed. Like anyone that we've spoken about this, man cold is a man flu is a real thing. I was actually really ill. A lesser man would have been in bed. You would have had to do it on your own. However, apparently you're sick now. How are you feeling, Sue?
I'm, haven't really stopped doing anything except for training. Been fighting my way through it.
Yes.
But I have actually, you've tried to take your mantle back about being the sickest in the house away from me.
Well, I was the sickest in the house. Anyway, this is all quite irrelevant and boring, but the reality is I think a lot of people probably are struggling with a bit of a cough and a virus, change of seasons, winter, it's going around a little bit. So if that is you, hope you're feeling better and you're on the upside and, not struggling too much. Unlike us, we've both had it. Our children have had it. So anyway.
So tonight we're going to reveal the secret to going faster. So can you tell us a secret, Mark? And we'll be starting out of here.
No, not yet. No,
not yet.
No,
I thought it would just be a quick secret, and then we'd be done.
It's not that simple.
It's not. Right?
No, it's not that simple. I think everyone wants to go faster. Even the ones that says, "Oh no, I don't want to go faster." They do want to go faster. So everyone will come to me, or not everyone, but a lot of people come to me and say, "Okay, how do I go faster? What's the secret?" And is there a secret? So I guess that's what we want to talk about tonight. Is there a secret to getting faster? How or what is it? Is our intended conversation tonight.
Okay, sounds good. So let's get into it. So you've said that it's not just a quick answer. So can we get started on the long one?
I guess a lot of people focus on the how and the what. How hard do I go? How long do I go? How should I do it? How fast? What type of training? What type of bike training? What type of swim training? And there's a lot of focus on the how and the what. And I guess the simple answer is there is no secret. If you ask me about what is the secret to getting faster, there is no secret to getting faster. And the reason I say that is the information is there for everyone to see and read. It's called the internet.
Yeah, I guess it's like that these days. Like you can read about every kind of training principles. You don't have to go to university to essentially become anything these days. You can find all the information out there. I think the secret is probably in how you apply it and what are the important parts.
Exactly. So that is the key difference now in the advent of the internet, where everyone has got access to the same information. If I go back to when I started training, the coach was all knowing. They had the qualifications and the experience and the knowledge. And as an athlete, you didn't know how to train. So the secret was the coach. The coach had the secrets, or those that had gone to university or done a specific type of training. They were the ones with the secrets, and that's how you got faster. You trusted them. And that's not necessarily, you still put your trust and faith in coaches these days and teachers and whoever else is helping you. But if you're that way inclined, you can go on the internet and you can say how to get faster in triathlon, and you'll get a lot of hits to say, okay, this is what you should do.
But then it just comes down to interpreting the information.
That's right. So being able to interpret the information and then apply it to your circumstances is the real challenge, and not necessarily the secret, but the challenge.
And I think that's a really key thing, because if you're, reading some of the stuff on the internet and it's about, how elite athletes train, or, how the Kenyans break 2 hours on a marathon, or even how people qualify for Kona and triathlon, it's not necessarily going to apply to your situation, not to your age, not to your other commitments, and not to your training history.
No, that's right. And that's where, that ability to interpret the information and apply it to your circumstances is, if you want to say there's a secret, maybe that's the secret, being able to interpret to your situation and apply the right information, because there is a lot of information out there around how to get faster, whether it be swimming, cycling, triathlon, running, whatever. There's a lot of information, and it can even become a little bit too confusing. And I've been doing it a long time, and even some of this latest research, I go, well, that contradicts with that. What should we do? What should we follow? So what I'd like to do tonight is keep it really simple and break it down to the 3 key points that I believe will make you faster. And if you can say that they're a secret, maybe they are, but this is what I think will make you faster.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we should reveal what they are.
Well, I'm going to reveal the first one because I just felt like I needed to interject.
Okay, sure.
And I would say that it's consistency in training. So being able to maintain a consistent load over a period of time is going to make you faster. And that can be both from, a shorter period of time, like 20 weeks building into an event, staying consistent, but also for a period of years.
Yes.
So, I've seen some people I know who are competing in Cairns Ironman recently. I've known for many, many years, about 10 years or so. And I've seen them just be really consistent in their training year in, year out. And the results they were achieving were amazing.
They were. And that is because of the consistency, as you say, not just over weeks and months, but over years. Then the question is, well, how do you develop the consistency? So what is it that's made those people achieve that level of consistency? Why they do it, or why can they do that? Do they have these, levels of motivation? What do you think leads to good consistency?
I think for some of the people we're talking about, I think part of it was adapting the training into their life. So they were part of the squad that we had in Brisbane. So it became really an important part of their life and their social, calendar to be going out to those training sessions, having coffee afterwards. And it was just something as part of their routine and part of what they enjoyed doing on a weekly basis.
So you said it there at the end, it was just part of their life and part of their routine. So they adopted the training into their life and it became an everyday part of their routines through life. So it didn't require these high levels of motivation. It was just something that they did day in, day out. So if you want to achieve consistency, you've got to have a good routine. And I think we've spoken about this a few times on these lives before about developing good routines. And I have recommended this book to a few people in the past, and I know I've read it and I found it to be probably the best training book I've ever read, and that's James Clear, or Atomic Habits. Talks a lot about the science of routines and behaviors. So number 1 tip for getting faster is being consistent, and within that, finding a routine that works for you.
Great. That's number 2.
Number 2 is getting your intensity distribution correct. So when I say intensity distribution, that's how much easy aerobic training you do versus how much higher intensity training you do.
And this is also one of our favorite topics. So that's how important it is, because we like to talk about the difference between hard and easy training and what the variation should be.
Where people will go wrong is they'll probably do too much hard training, so do too much high intensity training, and they'll train too hard on their easy sessions. So if you want to have longevity and if you want to develop consistency and have a good routine, we need to get to the point where 70 to 80% of our total training time is at a conversational pace.
So getting into this, there were too many tempo sessions. And,
So too many tempo sessions. Or if I wrote in a blog last week about our ego, and one of the mistakes people make is they'll be on a ride or run with friends, and it's supposed to be an easy ride that is conversational pace, and it becomes too hard for them, becomes harder than conversational pace, and their ego won't let them say, oh, this is probably a bit too hot for me, I need to slow down. And so you spend a lot of time at that sort of grey tempo pace and not really fully developing your aerobic capacity.
Yeah, so if you're not, every session or most of your sessions, you're not achieving what you should be in terms of your training plan, and you start letting your ego get into the way, then you're not going to be getting the results that you could have if you trained at the right intensity. Absolutely.
So, I've spoken to quite a few people of late about go slow to go fast in terms of, keeping a heart rate cap on some of your easy aerobic sessions. And it is a paradox, but it's, when people finally get the hang of it, they start to realize, oh, hang on a minute, I could run all day, or I could ride all day at this pace. And your body becomes more efficient, and so you can go longer. And then you can develop, that routine and the consistency and train for a long period of time over months, weeks, months, and years. And that's what leads to getting faster. So ensuring your intensity distribution is correct. So that's about 70 to of it at that easy conversational pace,
Okay.
and the rest is hard, but it's hard. Like the rest is, it's not moderate. It's actually working really hard.
Yeah, and I think that's almost a challenge for some people as much as training easy is really getting it up into that red zone.
That's right. Yep.
So we've got training at the right intensity and having your training consistent, both over the weeks and over the years. And what's your third tip?
The third one is too many people focus on the how and the what. How do I get faster? What have I got to do to get faster? And don't get me wrong, that's important. It is important to do the right type of training and the right sessions and all that sort of stuff. But I don't think we focus enough on the why. Why are you doing it in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it can be quite a romantic notion to think, oh, yes, I want to do an Ironman or a half Ironman or a sprint distance triathlon. Oh, yeah, I'll enter that. And motivation is high for 2 or 3 weeks. Excuse me. But then after a while, when the motivation runs out, if there's not a strong internal drive and internal motivation, you just won't do it. Plain and simple. You will just, unless you've got to have a strong intrinsic or internal motivation to want to do it.
So essentially it brings us back to the first 2 points, because we need a strong why in order to maintain that consistency.
Yes.
And a strong why as well to get those intensity right. Like if you don't have that why, you're not going to be able to push yourself right up into that red zone and be pushing hard.
No.
And also probably not even to control that ego and to hold yourself back on those sessions. You need to be able to think, well, I'm here because of this reason, not just because I want to keep up with my friends, so I'm going to pull back.
Absolutely.
So it all ties together.
It does. And that, I think that probably underpins the whole thing, is that when you start in this sport or when you continue to going, it's having a strong understanding of why you're doing it, being able to tap into that purpose in the hard sessions or in those days where it's a little bit hard to get up out of bed and the weather might not be so good and, you know, feeling a bit tired. Well, if you've got that strong sense of intrinsic motivation, well, then you get the routine and the consistency and you train properly and, wow, before you know it, you're getting faster.
So unfortunately, there isn't one, magic bullet.
No,
and I think generally the answer is to keep tapping away, hitting those smaller goals.
Yeah. So, the real message is to not get too confused. Oh, something's happened to her. Not to get too caught up in the how and the what. It is important, but if you know your purpose, you've got a strong why, you've got a good routine which develops consistency, and you train most of your time, you train easy, the reality is you're going to get faster. You will get faster and you will improve. And that is the secret, if there is such a thing. If there is a secret, I would say that is it. It's simple to do, but it's just as easy to get wrong as well. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that.
That's all right, Suze. I hope everyone, Sue-Ann, sorry, late to the party. As always, good to have you. I hope that has been beneficial to everyone. We wanted to, this sort of came up because been talking to a few people lately about, their improvements in training. And it all came down to the fact that lately they've just been consistent, good routine, they've been training properly and they've got a strong purpose. And I thought, well, actually, that's probably a good thing to talk about. And we had some feedback from people for our local members that have been training with us for a few months about how much they've improved. And it came down to these three points. And I think sometimes it's easy to sway away from this and go towards the shiny object, or someone's training like this, or someone's doing this, well, I'll do that. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right for you.
Yeah, and if you are looking for some more information just about, training principles, there are some articles on our website. So, have a look through those, especially looking into, around the intensity and that sort of stuff, so you understand a bit of the science behind that.
Yeah. So I've got some good articles and trying to give as much education as we can to people to help them, be those ones that are getting the good results and getting faster, because we do see a lot of people that start and they could probably achieve so much, but just get a couple of these basics wrong, which is unfortunate, because our intention is to really see people enjoy the sport, be on their journey, get faster for themselves and, and be in it for a long time.
Right. We'll see you next week if that's all from you.
That's all from me, Sonia. Thanks, team, as always. And, as always, guys, thank you. And we will see you next week.